This is a content warning. This episode involves some light kidnapping and mention of guns, although they never go off. They say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And I think that's true. If you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's going to stay in Vegas. If you and your friends have a crazy night and you make a pact to never speak of it again, that stays in Vegas. If you lose your iPhone at Magic Mike, that will stay in Vegas. But if you rob a man at gunpoint in a hotel room, that won't stay. That travels. Welcome back to another episode of Crime for Bad on Hatch Plus. My name is Deanna Ortiz. If you're looking for a true crime story to help you unwind tonight, you're in the right spot. And tonight, we're going to be talking about the robbery charges of O.J. Simpson. Listen, there's a couple different true crime outlets we could take for O.J., but this is the one he did time for. Even after everything that happened, you think he'll lay low. He certainly won't get charged for another crime. He does. Let's go back to 2007. 2007, O.J. Simpson was a free man and he was flying to Vegas to be the best man in his friend's wedding. How funny would that be if you were just like, I'm getting married. And they're like, oh my God, I can't wait for you to meet my best man. It's O.J. Simpson. So O.J. has a friend in Vegas who owns an auction house named Tom. And Tom gets a call from another one of his auction house buddies one day named Al Beardsley. And Al says to him, like, I have all this O.J. stuff that I'm trying to sell, like all this sports memorabilia, like footballs from important games that O.J. had won, like even pictures of his kids. And so once Tom hears that, he goes to O.J. and he tells him all of this. And O.J. is pissed. He's like, those items are not for sale. Those items were stolen from me and we need to go and get them back. Famously, O.J. was acquitted for the murder of his ex-wife. And in 1997, he lost a civil suit for wrongful death and had to pay $33.5 million to the families of the two victims that were killed. So in that payment, they took the house that he had, this like mansion in Brentwood, and he also had to turn over a bunch of personal belongings, including those memorabilias that are now being sold in Vegas. They also took his Heisman Trophy, which sold in the late 90s for like $250,000. I mean, sports fans are going to sports fan, but that's a collectible I don't think I want in my house. You know, I don't want an OJ collectible like on the shelf. That's grim. So now OJ is saying that these items were stolen from him and he deserves them back. And it's like, you weren't really robbed, okay? These things were seized from you. So OJ is really mad. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to be in Vegas anyway for this wedding. I'm going to go and get my stuff back. So he recruits a bunch of other wedding guests and friends to get his stuff with him. And also he made sure that some of the guys that he was bringing with had guns. Like, OJ knew that something was going to happen. You don't just casually ask your friends, like, hey, we're going to have a conversation with this guy. He's going to give me back all the stuff that he stole. By the way, do you have like a knife on you? Like, that's not, he knew something was going to go down. Also, it's the day before your friend's wedding where you're the best man. And you're really going to do a robbery before? Like, talk about crazy bachelor party. The groom was not part of this group that like did the robbery, but like I'd be so ticked off. They literally left to meet with the memorabilia people after the rehearsal dinner. If I was that bride, I'd be livid. This is why I didn't want OJ to be the best man, okay? Because he's going to kidnap someone the day before my wedding. It always has to be about him. The night before the wedding, they have a time and a date to meet with this memorabilia collector. His name was Bruce Fromage. And he was the guy who had all of this stuff. And he met with Al and Tom in a hotel room to show him the merchandise. And they told Bruce that they had a buyer that was interested. And so he was like, great, we'll meet at this hotel room. I'll have all this stuff and then like I'll make some money, whatever. But what they did not tell Bruce is that the buyer was OJ himself. It feels like an important thing to tell somebody. This whole thing is so sneaky. Poor Bruce. OJ and his 5 different, accomplices come to the hotel room. When they got right outside the hotel room, OJ told one of the guys that he needed to look menacing and to show his gun. So they all barge in, and Bruce was shocked to see that it was OJ Simpson coming for his stuff back. Like, I'm trying to think, as a memorabilia collector, someone who really loves these things, right? You're collecting these things. You must have an affinity for some of the stuff. And then you see the person in real life. Are you starstruck? Are you terrified? Do you ask him to sign his merch again? Like, what is that like? So OJ immediately starts yelling and telling people to just put everything in the bag so they can get out of there. He was saying stuff like, you think you can steal from me? You think you can steal my shit and get away with this? And how do we know that he was saying all of that? Because it was recorded. Tom Riccio, before OJ barged in, he had a tape recorder in the room the entire time. So he set up the tape recorder and got all the audio of OJ coming in and screaming things at them. The entire ordeal lasted about 6 minutes, and they left with all the memorabilia that had been intended to sell. 3 days later, OJ was arrested. I'm just happy that he got to go to the wedding, He probably had a great speech. Also, Tom Riccio sold the audio to TMZ. So not only was he arrested in Vegas, but now this audio comes out showing how crazy and terrifying this robbery and kidnapping was. And so once that audio was released, everybody was questioning Tom, being like, why did he think to set out a tape recorder? Was he setting OJ up? Did he set this whole memorabilia selling thing up in an effort to take money from the media and show everybody that OJ is a bad guy? Why have that foresight if you didn't have malicious intent with it? If you didn't think that you were going to sell it to TMZ for thousands of dollars anyway? So Tom said that he put the device out to record to prove that Al and Bruce were illegally selling his stolen things, which is a nice sentiment, but I don't believe it. No, dude, I did this for you. I wanted to get these two on recording that they were taking your stolen things. Not because I'm trying to send you to jail. Once OJ was arrested and interviewed, his stance was basically why would I do that? I'm OJ Simpson. I hate dealing with the law, famously. This is a quote that he said. I'm OJ Simpson. How am I going to think that I'm going to rob somebody and get away with it? You got to understand, this isn't drugs or something like that. This is getting my private belongings back. That's it. It's not a robbery. Besides, I thought what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's a weird way to end this. That's a weird thing to also throw on. It's it's not a robbery. I'm just taking back what's mine. Also, if it was a robbery, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's a great stance to take. So he was charged with 12 different counts. He was charged with conspiracy to commit a crime, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, conspiracy to commit robbery, 2 counts of first-degree kidnapping with use of a deadly weapon, 2 counts of robbery with use of a deadly weapon, 2 counts of assault with use of a deadly weapon, and 2 counts of coercion with a deadly weapon. So the reason that he's being charged with kidnapping is because he had ordered everybody to stay in the room, and you can hear that on the recording. So it goes to court. He has a trial, he has a jury, and on October 3rd, 2008, he was found guilty of all charges, and he was charged with a maximum sentence of 33 years with parole after 9 years. And a lot of people have a lot of stuff to say about that sentence. Is it justice for his previous trial that he got acquitted of? I think that it was a mix of all of it. It's a mix of this mega celebrity who's famous for basically, one specific crime, and you have the opportunity to send him to jail for a long time. So if he stayed in jail for the 33 years that he was sentenced to, he would be in jail until 2041. The 9 years after his parole was up was in 2017. And while they did do some appeals after he was sentenced, he stayed in jail until he was up for parole and was released on October 1st, 2017. And now he's on Twitter. I don't know if you guys follow OJ Simpson on Twitter, but he is cringe, as the kids say. That was the first thing he did when he got out of jail. He jumped on Twitter and was like, hello, Twitter sphere. Hello, Twitter world, which should be a crime in itself. Thank you guys so much for listening to It's Crime for Bed. My name is Deanna Ortiz. We'll see you next time. Bye.